Gentlemen, you ever have one of those mornings where you look in the mirror and think, where did my edge go? Your body feels softer, your motivation feels duller, your mood is off, and even worse, you can't remember the last time you really woke up with that strong, unmistakable signal of masculinity that says, I'm alive, I'm ready. Here's the truth. If you're over 50 and you feel like your body is slowly slipping out of your control, it's not all in your head. But it's also not your fault, because for years doctors have told men that this feeling of fading, this drain of strength, confidence, drive, intimacy is just normal aging. They say welcome to getting older. But I'm here to tell you something different, because what I've seen in my 3 decades as a men's health specialist is that most men are not broken, they're just out of alignment, out of rhythm with their body's natural hormone production. And what's really frustrating, the culprits are usually hiding in plain sight, in the everyday habits, routines, and rituals you repeat without even thinking. So today I'm going to show you 5 simple daily habits that most men overlook, but that could supercharge your testosterone naturally. No shots, no risky pills, just a few strategic shifts in how you treat your body, your time, and your energy. And here's the wild part. These aren't things that take hours or complicated routines. In fact, each one takes less than 15 minutes a day. But when you stack them together, men have reported sharper focus, deeper sleep, better performance, and yes, even a noticeable change in how their partner looks at them. So if you've been feeling like your engine's running on fumes, if your edge has gone missing, stay with me, because we're going to start from the ground up with science-backed, easy-to-follow habits that reignite the fire you thought was gone. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know what to do, you'll understand why it works, and exactly how to reclaim the strength that's still inside you. Let's get into it. Now, before we jump into the first daily habit, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Dr. Henry, and I've spent over 30 years helping men regain control over their energy, intimacy, and confidence by focusing on one powerful system in the male body, testosterone. But I want to be clear about something. I'm not one of those doctors who grew up shredded or genetically gifted. In fact, what led me into this field wasn't just medical school or patient charts. It was my own body, falling apart in my early 40s. I was a busy clinician working long hours, barely sleeping. I thought fatigue was normal, that losing interest in the bedroom was just stress. And when I started gaining weight around the belly, I blamed metabolism. But deep down, I knew something was off. I still remember the day I walked into the exam room and forgot my patient's name. Not because I was distracted, but because I was so foggy and depleted I couldn't think straight. That's when I got tested, and what I saw in the lab results shocked me. My testosterone levels had dropped by over 35% in just a few years, and worse, my doctors had never mentioned it. They told me it was just part of getting older, that I should accept it, but something in me refused. I wasn't ready to hand over my drive, my performance, or my identity, so I started digging, researching, experimenting, and what I discovered changed everything. Because there were men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who were sharp, strong, vibrant. Not because they had better genes, but because they lived in a way that protected and optimized their testosterone. They followed daily habits that supported their hormones naturally. No injections, no side effects, just science. So I applied those habits to myself, and within weeks, things began to shift. I was waking up earlier, training harder, and yes, my intimacy returned. Stronger than before? I took those same principles into my clinic, tested them with men who had lost hope, truck drivers, former athletes, office workers, retirees, and the results. Let's just say I've seen more marriages rekindled, more eyes light up, and more men cry tears of joy than any supplement commercial could promise. So today, I'm not just sharing this as a doctor, I'm sharing it as a man who's been where you are and who found the road back. And if you give me a few more minutes of your time, I'll walk you through the exact habits that helped me and thousands of others restore what we thought was lost. Because your testosterone isn't gone. It's just been waiting for the right signal. And today, we're going to send it. Let's start with habit number 1, and it begins before you even eat breakfast. The hidden crisis of low testosterone. Let's talk about the silent epidemic most men don't even realize they're part of. Low testosterone. See, every man over 30 naturally starts to lose a little testosterone each year, about 1% annually on average. But for millions of men today, that drop is accelerating. And it's not just happening because of age. It's our food, our sleep, our stress levels, our screen time, our lack of movement, and all of it is stacking up, crushing your testosterone quietly. Now, here's where it gets dangerous. Most men don't know it's happening until it's too late. Because testosterone doesn't just control sex drive, it regulates your energy, your muscle mass, your fat distribution, your motivation, your memory and clarity, even your sleep quality and mood. So when it drops, you don't just feel tired, you feel like you're losing a part of yourself. Let me paint the picture. You start sleeping less, but feeling more exhausted. You gain fat around your belly, even though your diet hasn't changed. You snap more easily. You feel anxious for no reason. You forget simple things. And in the bedroom, well, things start to go quiet. Not because you don't love your partner, not because you're not attracted, but because your body can't respond the way it used to. And the most painful part, you don't feel like you anymore. You feel like a faded version, a ghost of the man you used to be. And when you try to talk to your doctor about it, you get the same old line, your labs are in the normal range. Or worse, it's part of aging. But let me tell you something as a doctor. Normal is not optimal. The average testosterone levels today are lower than they've ever been in history. And that means a man today at age 45 has lower T than his father did at 60. And we're seeing the results. More fatigue, more belly fat, more erectile dysfunction, more depression, less motivation. And yet this doesn't have to be your reality. Because when you understand what's draining your testosterone, and you start removing those habits while adding the right ones in their place, your body responds quickly. In fact, one study found that men who corrected their vitamin D, cleaned up their diet, and lifted weights just 3 weeks per week saw their testosterone rise by over 50% in 90 days. Another showed that simple lifestyle changes could lead to double-digit increases in testosterone, even in men over 60. You just need to send your body the right signals. Your body's listening. You just have to speak its language. And in just a moment, I'm going to teach you how. But before we dive into habit number 1, let me tell you about a man named Carl. Carl was 58, retired early, hadn't felt strong in years. He came to me frustrated, not just physically, but emotionally. He said, "Doc, I don't even feel like a man anymore. I don't get angry. I don't get excited. I just feel flat." We ran his labs, testosterone barely above the minimum. So I gave him 5 new daily habits to follow. Simple ones, no drugs, no injections. And by month 2, he was waking up early again. He had started jogging. And his wife called me and said, "I don't know what you did, but he's back. This works." And it works naturally, so let's get into it. Here's the first daily habit that can kickstart your testosterone starting tomorrow morning. Daily habit number 1, sunlight before 9 a.m. Let's start with something so simple. Most men dismiss it as too easy to work, but the truth is, it might be the most powerful testosterone switch you're not flipping. Habit number 1, get direct sunlight before 9 a.m. No sunglasses, no windows, real sunlight, on your skin, in your eyes every single morning. Now I know it sounds almost too basic, but stick with me because the science behind this is incredible. Here's what happens. When your eyes receive natural light early in the day, especially within the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking up, your brain signals the production of serotonin, a key mood-regulating neurotransmitter. Serotonin later converts into melatonin, your sleep hormone, which means better sleep at night, and better sleep requires higher testosterone production. In fact, most testosterone is produced between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., but only if your circadian rhythm is in sync. No sunlight in the morning. Your entire hormonal rhythm gets thrown off. Even worse, when you miss that early light exposure, your cortisol stays elevated longer. And cortisol, as you might know, is a testosterone killer. So just by stepping outside first thing in the morning, you're telling your body time to wake up, time to reset, time to produce hormones. What's the protocol? Super simple. Within 30 minutes of waking, go outside. No sunglasses, no phone, no hat. Just 10-15 minutes of natural light on your face and arms. Even if it's cloudy, your body still absorbs the light spectrum. And if you can expose more skin, say walk your dog shirtless or sit on your porch, do it. Some of my patients even call it their sunlight ritual. They make a coffee, sit outside, and just breathe. No scrolling, no news, just nature light and calm. It calms your nervous system, wakes up your hormones, and sets you up for stronger T production throughout the day. Real story, Tom's 2-week transformation. Let me tell you about Tom, a 62-year-old retired teacher who hadn't felt truly rested in years. He used to wake up groggy, skip breakfast, and stay inside all morning. I gave him one rule: 10 minutes of sunlight before coffee. He laughed, said that's it. But by day 4, he started waking up before his alarm. By day 10, he said his brain felt clearer. And by week 2, he had morning wood for the first time in months. That's what a light reset can do. Bonus tip: if you live somewhere dark or it's winter, use a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp. Not quite the same as the sun, but still powerful enough to trigger your brain's hormonal wake-up sequence. Stack this with habit. Number 5, which we'll talk about later, works hand in hand with this. Because if sunlight is the on switch for your testosterone, then your sleep is the factory where it's built. But first, let's move into a habit that's far more uncomfortable, but wildly effective, and it might sound insane until you try it. Daily habit number 2, cold showers or face immersion. Okay, now this next one might make you wince, but if you can handle 30 seconds of discomfort, you might unlock hours of testosterone-boosting benefits. Habit number 2, cold showers or cold face immersion. Now, before you reach for that warm towel and skip ahead, let me explain why this works. Because this isn't just about mental toughness. This is about triggering a survival response in your body, one that's directly linked to hormone production, circulation, and male vitality. The science why cold tea and testosterone. When your body's exposed to cold water, a few things happen almost instantly. Your blood vessels constrict. Your brain floods with dopamine and norepinephrine. Your adrenal glands kick in. And most importantly, your hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, the command center of testosterone, is activated. This axis sends signals to your testes to increase testosterone synthesis. Why? Because cold exposure mimics stress in the wild. It tells your body you need to be strong, alert, and ready. Think about it. In evolutionary biology, discomfort was a signal to prepare for battle or survival, and that meant hormones had to fire. Cold exposure brings that signal back. How to do it: the 30-second reset. Now, I'm not asking you to do a full ice bath, although if you do, that's incredible. Here's the minimum effective dose. Start with your normal warm shower. At the end, turn the water to cold. Stand under the cold stream for 30 seconds. Focus on deep breaths. Let it hit your chest, neck, and lower body. Dry off and notice how awake and alive you feel. You don't have to suffer, just push into mild discomfort. Over time, increase to 60-90 seconds. Alternative for beginners: face immersion. Still too much? No problem. Try this. Fill a bowl with cold water, plus a few ice cubes. Hold your breath. Submerge your face for 15-30 seconds. This activates the dive reflex, which still kicks in your nervous system reset and boosts parasympathetic tone. That means better blood flow and, yes, improved function below the belt. Case study: Sean's comeback. I had a patient, Sean, who was 51 and recovering from a rough divorce. Energy gone, motivation shot. He didn't want to train, didn't want to socialize, barely wanted to get out of bed. I gave him one assignment: end every shower with cold for 30 seconds. That's it. Within 2 weeks, he called me and said, "Doc, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I've got my fire back." He started walking more, lifting again, dating again, and it all started with cold water. Warning: avoid cold exposure right after lifting weights. Why? Because it can blunt the muscle repair process. Instead, use it in the morning to boost alertness and prime your hormones, or on rest days when you need a reset. Bonus circulation benefits. There's one more reason cold showers help. They stimulate blood vessel tone and nitric oxide signaling. That's a fancy way of saying cold makes your arteries stronger. It trains your body to pump blood more efficiently. And blood flow, my friend, is everything when it comes to performance. Speaking of which, in just a moment, I'm going to show you a natural tonic that enhances blood flow even further, one that pairs perfectly with these testosterone habits. But first, let's move on to habit number 3. And if you're not doing this at least twice a week, you're leaving testosterone on the table. Daily habit 3, lift heavy, but not too often. All right, if sunlight sets your hormones and cold water wakes them up, then this next habit is like flipping the go switch on your testosterone engine. Habit number 3, lift heavy, but not too often. I can't overstate this. If you're not engaging your muscles, especially your large compound muscle groups, you are literally signaling to your body that testosterone is no longer needed. Let me explain. Why lifting boosts T levels? When you do resistance training, especially with moderate to heavy weights, your body reacts. It says, oh, this man is under physical demand. We need more testosterone to support muscle repair tissue and generate power. Testosterone rises in response to challenge, not comfort. And the best way to deliver that challenge, compound movements. That means exercises like squats, deadlifts, rakus nash, bench press, movements that engage multiple joints and major muscle groups. These trigger a massive hormonal response, including testosterone and growth hormone. Much more than isolated movements like curls or leg extensions. How often should you train? Here's where most men mess up. They either do nothing or they train every day with high reps and low weight. Both approaches can tank your hormones. Here's what I recommend. 3 full-body resistance sessions per week. That's enough to stimulate testosterone production. Without overtraining your nervous system, each session should last around 45-60 minutes. Focus on progressive overload, gradually increasing the weight or intensity over time. And yes, form comes first. You don't have to deadlift 400 pounds. Just lift in a way that challenges you. Recovery rushes growth. Now here's something most guys forget. Testosterone doesn't rise during your workout. It spikes after during recovery. That's when your body says, time to rebuild, time to reinforce, time to adapt. And if your sleep is off your gains, go down the drain. That's why I always say training and recovery are 2 sides of the same testosterone coin. Real story Mark's 30-day reboot. Mark was a 55-year-old accountant, sedentary for years. He said, Doc, I used to be strong. Now I just feel soft. We didn't throw him into some crazy gym routine. Just 3 workouts per week, body weight squats, push-ups, and kettlebell swings. By week 2, he said, I'm waking up early, feeling pumped. By week 4, his wife said he started walking differently, more confident, more presence. That's not ego. That's testosterone coming back online. Pro tip: ditch the cardio marathon. Look, cardio has its place, it's great for your heart. But long-duration endurance cardio, like running 6 miles every day, can actually lower testosterone over time. Why? Because it elevates cortisol, the stress hormone, and cortisol inhibits testosterone production. So instead of endless treadmill time, do short bursts of high-intensity interval training HIIT once a week. That's a better testosterone booster in half the time. Stack this with, coming up next, I'll show you a natural circulation enhancer that pairs perfectly with weight training. Why? Because once you stimulate testosterone, you need to make sure it's reaching your muscles, organs, and yes, your manhood. This next part is about the missing link most men overlook. Let's talk blood flow and how to supercharge it naturally. Natural product support, nitric boost. All right, by now you've learned how sunlight, cold exposure, and heavy lifting can wake up your testosterone. But let me ask you something powerful. What good is all that testosterone if it's not circulating to the places that matter most? You see, most men think boosting testosterone is all about production, but that's only half the story. The other half, delivery. Testosterone has to travel through your bloodstream, reaching your muscles, your brain, and yes, your performance below the belt. But if your blood flow is weak, if your arteries are stiff or clogged, if your capillaries are constricted from stress, diet, or age, then even high testosterone can fall flat. That's where nitric oxide comes in. It's the molecule that opens up your blood vessels, improves oxygen delivery, and powers up your body's ability to use testosterone effectively. Unfortunately, after 40, your natural nitric oxide production drops like a rock. That's why I often recommend a powerful but natural tonic. It's called Nitric Boost. What is Nitric Boost? Nitric Boost is a hardening tonic powder, not a capsule. You simply mix it with water once a day. It contains a clinically backed blend of beetroot powder, rich in nitrates to increase nitric oxide. L-citrulline, an amino acid that enhances blood vessel dilation. Panax ginseng for energy, libido, and mental sharpness. Vitamin C and magnesium to support vascular integrity. Together, this formula helps your arteries relax so blood can flow freely throughout your body. Men have reported better stamina, fuller morning erections, faster post-workout recovery, and even improved memory and mood, all because their circulation improved naturally. Real experience. Dennis, age 64. Dennis was a former Navy guy, tough as nails but feeling sluggish. He was lifting, eating clean, but still said, "I feel like my body isn't responding." I had him try nitric boost for 2 weeks. And his words, "Doc, I thought it was placebo until I woke up on day 6. And everything felt different. I had energy, I felt full, focused, and my wife." She noticed. That's the power of supporting circulation, not just hormones. Why it matters now. Because here's the truth. Most testosterone programs ignore blood flow. They focus on numbers on a chart, not how you feel. But blood flow is the final step. It's what turns potential into performance. And if you've ever struggled with fatigue, slow recovery, or weak intimacy, it might not be your testosterone. It might be your delivery system. Where to get it, I'll drop a link below where you can try Nitric Boost. It's made in the US. Third-party tested and comes with a full satisfaction guarantee. I'm not saying it's magic, but if you're already doing the right things, eating better, training smarter, getting sunlight, then this might be the missing fuel your body's been waiting for. Because the truth is, it's not just about making testosterone, it's about using it. Let's move into habit number 4, one that might sound strange, but could totally reshape your metabolism and hormonal output. Daily habit number 4, intermittent fasting. Let's talk about something that's not just a diet trend, but a biological trigger your ancestors used for thousands of years. Habit number 4, intermittent fasting. Now, before you worry, this isn't about starving yourself. It's about strategically timing your meals to give your hormones room to breathe. And when done right, fasting can supercharge testosterone naturally. The science fasting plus hormones. When you eat frequently throughout the day, especially processed carbs or snacks, you constantly spike insulin. And insulin, when elevated all the time, causes fat gain, inflammation, and worst of all, it suppresses testosterone. On the flip side, fasting lowers insulin and blood sugar levels, which increases luteinizing hormone LH, the signal your brain sends to your testes to make testosterone. Studies show that men who fast strategically experience higher testosterone levels, better growth hormone release, improved insulin sensitivity, reduced belly fat, which converts T into estrogen. This is powerful stuff. The 16-8 protocol. The easiest method to start is called 16-8 intermittent fasting. Here's how it works. Fast for 16 hours, including sleep. Eat all your meals in an 8-hour window. For example, stop eating at 8 p.m. Don't eat again until 12 p.m. the next day. Drink water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea during the fast. That's it. You're not cutting calories, you're just compressing your eating window. And your hormones love it. What to eat when you break the fast. This part matters. Most guys screw it up by breaking their fast with toast, orange juice, cereal, or a muffin. And what does that do? Spikes insulin. Kills the benefits. Instead, you want to break your fast with protein and fat. Think eggs with avocado, grilled chicken with olive oil, a protein shake with almond butter. This stabilizes your blood sugar and signals your body to build and repair. Real story, Leonard's belly vanished. Leonard was 59, former athlete. He told me, "Doc, I'm eating clean, but I can't lose this gut." I looked at his meal timing. He was grazing all day, small meals every 2-3 hours. That keeps insulin high 24/7. So I had him try 16-8 fasting for 4 weeks. Same foods, just compressed window. Guess what? He dropped 12 pounds. His energy soared. And for the first time in years, he felt light, sharp, and strong. That's the power of working with your hormones, not against them. Fasting tips for success. Stay hydrated during your fasting window. Add a pinch of sea salt to water if you feel lightheaded. Don't overeat when your window opens. Eat until satisfied, not stuffed. Don't panic if the first 3 days feel tough. Your body's adjusting. Stack this with remember habit number 1, morning sunlight. Do that while fasted and you amplify the hormonal benefits. Now we've focused a lot on what to do during the day, but next I'm going to share a simple nighttime habit that could be the most important one yet, because it's while you sleep that testosterone is actually built. Let's go deeper. Daily habit number 5, go to bed at the same time. All right, we've talked about movement, sunlight fasting, and circulation, but none of it matters if you're skipping this final habit. Habit number 5, go to bed at the same time every night. Not just get enough sleep, but get it consistently. Here's why testosterone is made while you sleep. Your body produces most of its daily testosterone while you're in deep sleep, particularly between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is your hormonal repair window. Miss it, and your body misses its chance to manufacture testosterone. Sleep researchers have found that men who sleep less than 6 hours a night have significantly lower testosterone levels, even if they're healthy in every other way. One study showed that just 1 week of poor sleep reduced T levels by up to 15%. And the damage is cumulative, meaning the longer you run on poor sleep, the harder it is to recover physically, mentally, and sexually. The power of routine. Here's the secret most men overlook. It's not just how much sleep you get, it's when you get it. Your brain and body are tied to the circadian rhythm, your natural sleep-wake cycle. Going to bed at 10 one night, then 1 a.m. the next, then midnight. That chaos scrambles your hormone production. Your brain doesn't know when to start making testosterone. That's why I recommend sleep window 10 p.m., 6 a.m. Consistent bedtime every night, even weekends. No blue light phones, TVs, tablets for 1 hour before bed. Your body craves rhythm. When you give it that, it rewards you with testosterone clarity and performance. Night routine. That works. A few simple practices can prime your body for high-quality sleep. Dim your lights after 8 p.m. Mimics natural sunset. Use blue light blocking glasses if using screens. Take magnesium glycinate. Supports deep sleep and muscle recovery. Lower the room temperature to 65 degrees 70, 1899. Cooler temps are deeper sleep. Listen to binaural beats or white noise. Calms the nervous system. These aren't just tricks. They're neurochemical triggers that tell your brain it's time to rest, rebuild, and renew. Story Harold's turnaround. Harold was 67 and swore he didn't need more than 5 hours of sleep. He was dragging through the day drinking 4 cups of coffee just to feel normal. Low drive, no energy, brain fog. I asked him to do one thing. Go to bed at the same time every night. That's it. He started winding down at 9:30, lights out by 10. 2 weeks later, he woke up with morning wood again, cut his coffee in half, and told me I forgot what it felt like to feel rested. He didn't change his diet. He didn't start lifting weights, just sleep discipline, and it changed everything. Stack this with you, remember habit number 1. Early morning sunlight that locks in your rhythm after you wake. But this habit, consistent sleep time, locks it in before bed. It's the bookend that closes the hormonal loop. It tells your brain tomorrow we rise stronger. And speaking of tomorrow, let's put everything together into one simple blueprint so you can start changing your body this week. Putting it all together, the 5-habit blueprint. All right, we've covered a lot today, and if your brain feels like it's swimming in new ideas, let's simplify. Because the truth is, you don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to stack a few key habits and stay consistent. So here it is, the 5-habit testosterone blueprint. 1. Sunlight before 9 a.m. Kickstart your hormonal rhythm. Get outside for 10-15 minutes within 30 minutes of waking up. It tells your body time to make testosterone. 2. Cold showers or face immersion. Activate your survival response. Boost dopamine, increase circulation, and train your nervous system. Start with just 30 seconds. 3. Lift heavy, 3x, weak signal your body to build strength. Use compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and rows. Push yourself, don't punish yourself. 4. Intermittent fasting 16. 8. Lower insulin, raise luteinizing hormone. Eat within an 8-hour window. Break your fast with protein and fat, not carbs. 5. Same bedtime every night. Sleep is where testosterone is actually produced. Target 10 p.m., 6 a.m. No blue light an hour before bed. Let your body repair and rise stronger. Bonus fuel nitric boost. If you're already making these shifts and you want to optimize blood flow, improve nutrient delivery, and amplify the hormonal effects. Add Nitric Boost to your daily stack. It's not a replacement, it's a multiplier. And when combined with these 5 habits, you create a compound effect that rebuilds your body from the inside out. Your 30-day action plan. Don't try to do all 5 habits perfectly from day 1. Start with 1 habit per week. Let it become automatic. Then add the next. In 30 days, you won't just feel different, you'll move differently, think differently, and you'll start to look like the man you remember, because he's not gone. He's still inside you. And now, you've got the blueprint to bring him back. Let's finish strong. If you've made it this far, it means one thing: you're serious about getting your strength, energy, and confidence back. So here's your next step. Not next month. Not next year. Today. Pick just one of the 5 habits we talked about: morning sunlight, cold showers, lifting heavy, intermittent fasting, same bedtime every night, and start it. Today. Not perfectly, just consistently, because momentum builds faster than you think. And once you start feeling those early wins, better sleep, sharper focus, that first confident morning wood again. It fuels everything else. And if you want to give your body that extra edge to enhance circulation, support recovery, and activate every system we've talked about, I've included a link below to try Nitric Boost. It's the natural tonic I personally recommend to patients, friends, and family. Because it works. It's not a gimmick. It's not a stimulant. It's a circulation enhancer backed by science and real results. And when paired with your new testosterone habits, it amplifies the gains. Try it. Feel the difference. Then come back here and tell me what changed. And if this video helped you, if it opened your eyes to what's possible again, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe, and most importantly, share it with another man who needs this message. Because we rise together. You're not past your prime. You're not fading. You're just getting started. Now go show the world what happens when a man takes back his fire,